Sunday, especially if you have travel plans this weekend. After storms clear, cold air settles in, the temperature is changing into the 20s by Monday morning. And we can get used to those temps for most of the working week. So I'm sitting here in shorts and flip-flops right now, but I imagine I will be putting those away back into the bottom drawer for at least another week until this Walton Beach weather gets its...
Florida being Florida, right? I mean, Sunday, I think we saw half an inch of snow, a little bit of snow around the county, and now you're sitting here on a Friday jamming out with some Biggie in your flip-flops.
At 70 degrees.
Yes, sir.
So do you keep your flip-flops in your bottom drawer, or are you just talking about your shorts?
Well, I've got multiple pairs of flip-flops at the ready in one of the car. That's what I do. And what we're doing is paying the bills. Walton Beach, what we're doing is the name of the show. For David Schmidt and Kevin Horton, this is Garrett Stern. Stick around.
Text back. Might grab that stool up and stand it all down. I'm actually glad I did wear shorts. It's kind of warm out there.
It is.
And I kind of wish I would have put in my contacts so I could have worn my sunglasses, because it was
Yeah.
bright too.
I was with your cuz today. We had a meeting
Oh,
at
really?
the county office.
Jeff?
Yeah, I forgot to tell him I was planning on seeing you today.
Oh,
I don't know if you
yeah.
were going to be here or not, but
Yeah, I'm sure. I've been going over there the last couple Friday nights, but Greg was also in town, so I don't know if that'll still be a thing now that Greg's back
Gotcha.
in Wisconsin. The dairy state. Come smell our dairy air. I believe that's their motto. Charlie Kirk's usually the cue.
That's my hometown. That is my hometown. Walton Beach, what we're doing is the name of the show. We're going to be here with you on FM 94.3 FWBWD all the way until 5 o'clock. That's what we do Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. My Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day. I'm going to go ahead and award that to a couple of different people. Here in the first hour, joining me is Walton Beach City Councilman, and I don't know how else to shorten all the titles you wear, but my good friend, let's just leave it there. David Schmidt is joining us. David, thank you so much for being in here for this first hour.
awesome to be here. What, around rough estimate, what year do you think that song was produced, that music that just came in through this transition?
That was actually produced by a man named Tim D. Smith. He lived in the Huntsville area, and he owned a series of radio stations throughout the Southeast. He actually owned WNUE. The song itself was produced, I'd say maybe 1969, 70, or 71, somewhere in that area. And the tune itself was used from multiple markets of radio stations where he owned the stations throughout the Southeast. So that there's one called Huntsville, USA, that uses that same tune. There's one for, I think, Nashville as well. In fact, let's look at the Huntsville one just to show you an example of.
What did the MD stand for?
Michael.
David? Donald?
But it was roughly, you said mid-50s, mid-40s.
Yeah, no, I would say late 60s, early 70s.
Around the time when there was still just one high school, I believe, in the city of Fort Walton, right? Around that time. And
The Fighting Blue Devils.
You know, it's just neat how at one point in time the city of Fort Walton Beach had just one Fighting Blue Devils high school was the name.
Yeah.
But no, there it is.
That's still a Fort Walton. You know, I'm missing Brady Brooks right now. He is our producer extraordinaire. He's the one that's actually able to answer the phone. And I will do my best, by the way. Please give it a try. Even if you want to prank call us, 850-374-3468. Again, that's 850-374-3468. I don't like how you have to use the area code these days.
Yeah, call in. We can talk what's on the agenda this Tuesday. For those of you who are advocating for your trash to get picked up twice a week, come support that. Come support that. That'll be going on the agenda this Tuesday.
Okay, that is good to know.
You know, local politics, Gareth. You know, I mean, we can't just sit behind our keyboards and talk about it.
Very true. Very true. Show up. Don't just complain without being a part of the civic process. And speaking of the civic process, we've got a municipal election coming up on March 10th, correct?
Correct. It is a referendum. No one's getting elected. But,
That's my thought.
yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. No one's so it'll probably be a low voter turnout because of that. You know, normally when there's, you know, we've had some really historic elections the past 4 to 6 years where there's been 10, 11, 12 candidates that is really awesome because it draws a lot of engagement. We've had some record-breaking turnouts of 13% of the electorate voting. But this time around, with nobody running, it's just a referendum on some charter amendments. So we'll probably have somewhere between 5 to 6% of voter turnout.
But we'll have 55 to 65% complaining afterwards.
That's it. That's normally how it works. You know, the keyboard critics and those folks, they very easy to voice that frustration, but it's not always easy getting involved in the process. So email your city council at citycouncil@fwb.org if you have any complaints, and every recommended every complaint hopefully comes with some kind of recommended or proposed solution that you'd like to see. Or if you do just want to vent and complaint that your representative is not doing a good job, email us at citycouncil@fwb.org. Or if you do have a suggestion or are trying to broker something that you'd like to see in the city, love to call a meeting with our city manager and the proposal that you bring, and let's see if we can make something happen. You got to love backyard politics.
Oh, absolutely. And I so much appreciate you being here. It really warms my heart to call you friend and to see all the cool things you do for the city in a way that you're constantly lifting everyone else up. So it's really good to have you here, my friend.
Well, it's good to be here. It's good to be here, and arguably the greatest place to be in the world. If you hadn't had a chance, Garrett, go check out, our listeners, go check out the progress of the landing. It is really shaping up nicely. The amphitheater is coming along, and the city had a chance to get the land just to the east of there as well to open up the park even more. Speaking of park, what's also on this Tuesday's agenda is the funding resolution to expand the Preston Hood Sports Complex. So that's going to be neat. You don't get a chance to expand even more parks there. So excited about that as well. Parks.
What does that expansion look like? Or is that too far off in the future?
No, the plans are there, and the plans hopefully will be funded this Tuesday. But you're going to see more parking, so that hopefully not as many folks will be parking along Jet Drive on the road. You're going to see some more multi-use fields, as well as some other things like fields and possibly some. I know this is good for some, but not so good for others. But possibly some pickleball courts, Gareth. Possibly. So the tennis players out there, I know you might not like it, but there's a chance we may scrub that as well from the plans.
Pickleball courts becoming the new mattress store for the keyboard warriors downtown.
Well, see, the difference between a mattress store and car washes and pickleball is the pickleball actually is a quality of life enhancement. You got people of all ages getting after it, competing and having some fun outside and getting some exercise. Mattress stores and car washes, man, yeah. So capitalism, right? You know, I mean, you don't want to turn into a dictator and say, no, you cannot go and put your money there, while at the same time, too, shout out to any investors that would like to put other things besides car washes and gas stations. We'd love to have you in the city of Fort Walton Beach.
I take a steak and shake.
That'll work. That'll work.
I'll be interviewing one of those entrepreneurs, Mr. Tim Ruan of All Things Crew. He's got a new, and that's Crew spelled Krewed, Crew of Bowleg. He's got a new shop over at 106 Perry Avenue, and with the kickoff of Mardi Gras, he's got a big party planned tomorrow at the Soundside Waterfront Bar, starting at 3 o'clock p.m.
Awesome. Awesome.
Having him there, it's always good to see people with these really cool entrepreneurial ideas that are, first of all, welcome to any business that is willing to come and conduct business. I mean, it's the Circle K that everyone complained about over at Cinco Bayou. I got 40 cents off per gallon last Monday, so I'm happy about that.
You know, somebody could have put their own money on the corner of Yacht Club and Eglin Parkway and put something there better, you know. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the gas station is what stuck. But no, we're excited about the future of the city. Between the new bridges connecting 12-foot sidewalks to the Gulf, between the downtown, your things like parks being expanded. Did you see by any chance the new business that just opened up at Uptown Station, Gareth?
Are you talking about
Applied, that's it. Applied Institute. They roughly about 60 employees, average income around 6 figures, $100,000 a year. That's going to be in our city, you know, shopping, spending money, hopefully buying houses. And he was there. He was there, as well as, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the brokers that put this stuff together, guys like Jay Odom, and just very fortunate to have that kind of higher skilled, higher wage jobs inside the city of Fort Walton Beach.
Yeah, definitely one of those hidden drivers of the local economy are businesses like that.
That's it.
Government contracts.
And those guys like Bit Wizards that's developing over there, and then you got Beast Code. For those of you who don't know what Beast Code is, super awesome business that's growing their footprint in the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, where they take standard operating procedures from a 3-ring binder and turn it into a 3D type of image, where if you're doing maintenance on a submarine or any type of training, instead of putting your little yellow tabs on the 3-ring binder and figuring out what that portion of the standard operating procedure is to do maintenance on a submarine, you know, you're wearing your goggles and figuring out the 3D to get the training and the maintenance done. So shout out to these investors that are here in Fort Walton Beach. They're providing more opportunities for families and pouring back into the community, right? Whether it's Choctaw High School or Fort Walton Beach High School, a lot of their sponsorships come from these kind of businesses that pour right back in the community.
Community's doing some great things. I do have some community news that I just saw on Facebook just prior to the show going on. It looks like city staff are going to begin.
Do that too, but the child care facility will open at the Freedom Tech Center, providing services from infancy through after-school care. Again, scheduled to open in time for the 26-27 school year. So that's going to be a big boost for families and workforce support. You'd be surprised how many teachers would love to get back into teaching, but they just can't find a place for their kids to get daycare. So appreciate those investors as well.
Absolutely. I know a lot about that, people and daycare and all the rest. And we're going to talk about all the rest on Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing this with David Schmidt and my good buddy Kevin Horgan. So, I'm trying to get in the groove here so that I'm off beat. So anyway, I'll just invite you to stick around while I pay a few bills. Stick around. Got about 6 minutes or 5 minutes.
6, 7.
Yeah, 6, 7.
So that'll be fun, man. Y'all go down there. You gonna go down there with some buddies, or go down there with
Just my daughter.
Nice, man. All
I
right.
go way too much, so.
Well, if you got an annual pass and
Yeah.
you're able to do it, all the power to
I
you.
get into the parks for free, and then I get pretty good discount on the rooms and food, so it's not bad. It's pretty cost efficient.
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago I went 28 times.
Sweet.
I've gone with a plethora of people. I've gone with friends, family. I've gone by myself a couple times. Wasn't terrible.
I was about to say, a park like that, you could find yourself just
I-
people watching it.
It wasn't terrible. I didn't mind the just calling the shots, and I didn't have anybody go, let's do this, or I'm tired, or did what I wanted, and
It's
it wasn't terrible. The only bad thing was eating by yourself. Other than that, I don't care.
yeah.
That's why I'd get to go and just bring it to the room.
There you go.
Get that 2-foot-long chili cheese dog. There's nothing
That's your
wrong with
good
that.
long day in the
Oh,
park.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can always go for a 2-foot-long chili cheese dog. It's probably not the best thing to do, but I'm down.
Yeah.
Probably.
After a cup of coffee the next morning.
Yes.
It'll kind of work its way out.
Yeah. It'll be.
I was with Caitlin Tuesday night.
Oh,
We had some Little League evaluations.
yeah, I don't know what happened because the last couple Tuesdays she said, "Hey, can I drop Everly off for a little bit?" But this Tuesday she didn't, so I didn't know what was going on.
She was there running around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's been in my house the last couple Tuesdays, having fun watching
That's fun.
YouTube and
That's fun.
terrorizing everything and having a great time.
Sounds like the youngins that I got.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a crowd one tonight. I'm probably gonna have to go 5:30, 6 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about these Choctaw Fort Walton games, the basketball, and you gotta go so early.
Yeah.
But you gotta like it for the JV kids because usually there's like 20 people in the crowd for the JV game. But these JV kids know if it's Choctaw Fort Walton, at least by the mid-second quarter, they're gonna be playing in front of a full house.
Can you bring up some really neat nostalgic moments? Like my freshman year being not to pull out the yearbook, but you got me thinking. That game when you're playing against Choctaw, you knew at halftime when you got done hearing the coach cheer you out for whatever reason,
Yep.
and you got out there and you're like, wow,
It's full.
there's a lot of people
Yeah.
here.
And normally at JVs used to have about 20, 30.
Right.
Yeah,
The parents
so
plus
it's really
one or two
cool.
other
Yeah,
girlfriends
so-
or ex-girlfriends.
So it's really cool. It's really cool for those kids because they at least can count on twice a year
Yeah.
playing in front of a packed house. Because you know when you come, like you said, when you come out of the halftime locker room, you're like, oh my God, it's full and it's loud.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like they're cheering for our baskets like they do for varsity.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to kind of build some grit.
Yeah,
you know?
it's pretty cool, and I like that we have a couple good young coaches at our feeder schools, Pryor and Meggs.
Yeah.
I know Magic Hall's doing kind of a head scratching higher, but he's doing quite well.
Yeah, you got
And to
it.
make you feel old, Meg is leading scorer. Willie Gaucher's son.
Wow.
I feel old now.
That's Well, it's probably hard, I'd imagine, to find middle school coaches in any sport. But to get somebody that's got some passion, that's got some
He does have that,
grit,
absolutely.
and understands
Yeah.
from a Choctaw standpoint and a feeder pattern into that school.
And that's what one thing about Magic Hall being a Choctaw guy. He's not going to let his kids go to Fort Walton or Niceville. They're going to go. I mean, he's got seventh and eighth graders dunking over there.
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah.
And then we just found out, Coach just told me the other night after the game that our leading scorer on JV, who was supposed to be a big impact player for varsity next year, military family, just got transfer plans to South Carolina, so he's going to be leaving. Yeah,
Who is
it's tough.
this? For Fort
Jaden
Walton or
Rankin's little
for
brother,
Choctaw?
Choctaw's leading JV scorer, who was supposed to be a big dog on varsity next year there. Military town, you expect it. Hopefully.
Yes!
And that song can only mean one thing. Well, it can actually mean multiple things, I suppose. Did you know that David Schmidt is a Fort Walton Beach High School graduate, and this used to be the theme song for Fort Walton Beach High School.
Got me fired up, Gareth. I'm ready to go watch some Fort Walton Choctaw basketball tonight. If you don't have anything already in your schedule, go out and support these student athletes, these coaches, these schools over there off of Wright Parkway at Fort Walton Beach High School.
It really just every year, Fort Walton Choctaw, from football all the way down to golf, it just brings the town together.
That's
It ignites internal rivalry. I think it's a little combination of AAU ball and social media, but these kids are friends.
That's it. And there's a chance 22% of them might be on the other team next year. But either way, it's a rivalry that's always fun. And me and Kevin, you and I were talking about during the break. Even these JV student athletes, when they get done getting a good chewing at halftime and they come back out the second half of the JV game, it's like, wow, there's a lot of people here at the Fort Walton Choctaw game. So special night. Gareth, that was good music, man.
Yeah,
That was good.
So speaking of good music, I wouldn't put it in the same category as that, but during the commercial break, we were talking about the theme song that I used for this radio show, Walton Beach, my hometown, and you asked me a question about when it was released, and I went into a side story like I always do, and basically that tune was used for multiple cities around the southeast. I did happen to find the Huntsville one, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay that for all of us now. Pay off that second. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
No, it does
A little
not.
bit different, a little bit different.
Anyway, I won't subject anyone to the rest of that, but I think there was one for Nashville, so, well, we were just one of a few, and, just a fun little nugget. You also know, in the same vein, there's a Christmas song that you've all become familiar with. It's, Johnny, Please Come Home. Baby, please come home. That's a saxophone. Hold on, what else? I'm not going to finger part for a day, but it is now.
While he's looking that up, Kevin, I'll get the Fort Walton ones. Name top 3 Choctaw basketball players of all time. You got 3.
Just in opinion or statistically?
Man, Kevin's top 3 at Choctaw.
Number 1, obviously you got to go Asa Newell, NBA lottery pick. I don't think you could refute that. Number 2, I would go Kelly Wise, former center. I think his senior year was 1998. Went on to have a very good career. Back then it was Memphis State. Now it's Memphis. Number 3, man, that would be a tough. There's so many names. I mean, you got your Sherman Fullers, you got your Greg Peters, you got your Sherrar Tuckers. I mean, it's even guys like Deontay Smith. You know, more recent guys. He was in the ESPN Top 100. So I mean,
solid athletes.
Yeah, it would be really tough to do. To where I think Fort Walton, not for lack of athletes, but I think Fort Walton would be a little bit more clear cut because you're going to have Dyron Nix, you're going to have Preston Shumpert, and then Jason Pryor.
Those are good ones. You know, I kind of. You got Jeff Brower. You got. See, I'm a little biased, but I'm going to say my goat is Marcus Elliott. I mean, he's sitting at 41 years old, still playing professional basketball for Fort Walton Beach High School. Yeah. You got Marcus Broadnax.
Yeah.
Marcus Broadnax was before the 3-point line, averaging about 35 a game. Dyron Nix, like you mentioned. Jason Pryor, Mr. Basketball for the state of Florida. Preston Shumpert,
New York Knicks, Syracuse. You know, actually, I'd like to rewind to 2 things, if you got a minute. First of all, speaking of the Preston Hood Athletic Complex, number 1, do either one of you guys know which are the 2 fastest growing sports in our country?
I'm guessing pickleball being one of them, and let's go with frisbee golf.
Pickleball and flag football. Girls flag football is number 2. So pickleball courts. Whether you agree with it or not, pickleball courts make sense to me anywhere because it's the fastest growing sport in the country.
So with that being said, Kevin, how do you fund the maintenance for all of these pickleball courts that the taxpayers have paid for?
Just go ask Don Mazzarelli.
Okay.
I used to coach football at Choctaw. He's a pickleball fanatic, and I'm sure he'd do whatever he had to do to keep these courts open and maintained.
So Don, if you're out there, please stroke a check.
He is also
is what Kevin's saying.
He is also in the Ohio Bobcat University Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, so stroke a check. According to Kevin, I love pickleball. I enjoy playing pickleball. I'm just trying to figure out how we fund to maintain these pickleball courts.
And number 2, Gareth, the year before you made your Turkey Bowl debut was the one and only year where the Turkey Bowl was actually held at the Preston Hood Athletic Complex. It's also the year I tore my quad. Yeah, well, it wasn't my most fond Turkey Bowl, but I did manage to haul in a touchdown pass from former Choctaw quarterback Brady Peters that game before it happened. So all was well, even though it did not end well. But yes, it was a one-time deal, and then it went right back to where it had been and still is.
You think if non-city residents had to pay a membership to schedule the pickleball courts, you think that would be a way to help fund the maintenance? Because the
Absolutely.
folks who don't play pickleball, they're like, my potholes need to be fixed, and we got pickleball courts going everywhere. And I'm glad it's one of the fastest growing sports, but we got to fund the maintenance of these things. The city taxpayers, I feel like, are already paying those taxes for them. Build a pickleball court over the potholes. I don't know if that'll go too well on US Highway 98. Hey, Eglin Parkway is getting ready to be resurfaced no later than April. It's going to be starting no later than April. The contract was awarded. They have 120 days to start. So those of you that are also, that's going to be included on the Cinco Bayou Bridge as well as the Shalimar Bridge. It's going to go from Highway 98 all the way to Richburg, right there in Shalimar, right before you get to the Shalimar Elementary. So everybody hold on tight. Racetrack Road just got paved. Highway 98 just got paved. Eglin Parkway is next. I know the potholes in Eglin Parkway are there. I don't want to say technically it's not a city road. I don't like that. But we are nudging and encouraging our friends from the Florida Department of Transportation, and it is on the schedule to get resurfaced.
And I know it's also not a city road, but there is quite a bit of road work and change going on in the South Avenue, James Lee, Revere, Mayflower area.
That's it.
I've noticed in the last couple weeks, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know what their end game is, but there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, and a lot of people traveling on these roads. Back to maintenance, right?
Yes.
You got to fund these things, but also too, we built a lot of pickleball courts with taxpayers' dollars. We got to get creative. I know no one likes fees or taxes, but tactfully navigating through that. Maybe if you provide a service called pickleball for folks who live outside of the city, they might have to pay a fee to use the pickleball courts that the city taxpayers are paying for to maintain. What do you think?
And you know, David, I think it's a good idea. And it's something that, in a roundabout way, has been done. I don't know if this was still the case, but back in the day, if you were going to play athletics for the city of Fort Walton, whether it be baseball, basketball, football at Jet Stadium, it would cost more for county residents than it would for city residents.
That kind of model.
Yeah. So it's been done before. We were both in county, and we both played for Walton Beach City League, and it was $10 or $20 more for us than for a city resident. And I did not cheat and use my grandparents' address or my aunt and uncle's address. I was legitimate.
There's that play too. So soliciting any stakeholders out there, maybe there's a PPP, public-private partnership. If you're interested in submitting a proposal to manage the pickleball courts, which also may include a membership fee for the user that's doing them, and you're responsible to maintain and manage those courts, would love to hear from you. citycouncil@fwb.org.
I love it. Being proactive, that's the most important thing. And if you want to give us a call, 850-374-3468. We've got Fort Walton Beach City Councilman David Schmidt right here, ready, willing, and able to take your compliments.
And Fort Walton Beach City questions.
That's it. Let's do it.
You are listening to Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing, your daily dose.
Oh,
of
this is
local
fun
news,
talking
community
about the
engagement,
politics and
community
nostalgic
support.
stuff again.
And I get it, man. Like, most people look at pickleball as like people that can't cut a tennis.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the new racquetball.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like, racquetball.
Him and I played that one time out at Topsail when we were kids, and I mean, it was very fun. It was cool for about 5 minutes.
Right.
And that was just trying to hit his brother with the ball as hard as we could. But other than that, it really wasn't that great. But no, like what you said, charging, county residents to use city facilities is something that has been done in the past.
Even too, I think there's some revenue to offset the pothole dollars, even for folks that are using these pickleball courts, let's call it out of the county residents, right?
Yeah.
If some of those, trying to navigate the political side of, so you got, at the end of the day, you got to have majority support on the board, or some folks are like, hey, yeah, my family or parents live in the county, and they use the pickleball courts, they're already paying taxes in the county. Okay, all right. But these snowbirds and turtles that are using these courts,
and they bring their stuff, they play, they
their
bring
stuff,
equipment, yes.
Yeah, they're maxing it out over their homes and jet.
And when it's the fastest growing sport in America, there's a market there for people that would pay money to use pickleball facilities, and
That's it.
knowing that their money is, it's not using a greedy way, it's going to the upkeep of said facilities that they're using.
because those are going to be the same ones that are going to complain if there's a whole bunch of cracks and potholes in the
Yeah.
football court.
Yeah.
Oh, why aren't you going to fix this? Well,
I mean, Jeff had a big deal with a lot of the pickleball courts that have been up in the last few years, and redoing tennis courts at Ferry Park, and
he's been right in the middle of it.
over in the corner of a country club in Lewis Turner. I think he had those
Kinley
redone. He did,
courts.
when he was at the city, he did a lot.
Yeah. Now the question is how do you maintain them?
Yeah.
You know, how do you fund it?
I think another big question is how do you find somebody that cared as much as he did? Because he's been here forever. I don't know, who is it now? Michael Beatty? Is that who has his job?
No, a guy named Jason Davis.
Has he been here? Is he a
Yeah, he's from
lifer?
he's from Palm Beach.
Okay,
He
so-
came here in June.
He may not have that personal. You know, it's like I talked about when a school like Choctaw hires an alum as a coach rather than just hire somebody that didn't go there and they're just simply being paid to coach there. There's always a little extra motivation to succeed.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought that maybe about Jeff. He's a lifer. He grew up using these facilities. So I think he had a more vested interest in a guy that's just being paid to be the city manager.
That's it. It was good that our previous. Oh, here we go. Jason and Jeff were meeting all together. It's neat to see the previous city manager and the current city manager working together.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Are we back? Are we back on Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing live?
You are back on what, yeah. I don't know, I'm just excited about the Olympics coming up.
Yes.
Because I'm a big sports fan, D, because I like obscure sports, C, because it's gonna give me an opportunity to talk about things over the course of 2 weeks that would normally be, in the sports world, bereft of anything good to talk about.
And I believe this will be our first traditional Winter Olympics in 8 years instead of 4, because weren't the last Winter Olympics the COVID Olympics?
That's right, there was some sort of oblong, weird, hiccup type year.
Half full arenas, your downhill skiing with no fans, and the commentators were literally at home watching it on TV, calling it. So
Cold, dark winter.
it's back. I
It's
mean,
back.
the Olympics are back in your traditional form. And I mean, let's face it, 99 out of 100 people are going to prefer the Summer Olympics over the Winter Olympics. I do myself. But the Olympics are the Olympics, and it is the only time that I watch certain sports. I
Fair
would
enough.
never watch hockey, but if it's in the Olympics, I'm watching hockey.
And there's a big storyline surrounding the United States and Canadian.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
The World Championships last year.
Yes, the first 4 seconds of the game, I think there was.
Gloves off and-
Yeah, they were going at it.
Yeah.
I said we got some business to
Yeah.
handle. So let's see USA get to work.
Yeah, it's
Speed skating.
Yeah, I've been-
Probably would never watch speed skating
Nope.
unless if it's the Winter Olympics. But I will sit on the edge of my sofa cheering, chanting USA.
Isn't it amazing just what the Olympics bring out in you when it comes to sports that you have absolutely no interest in? But when it's the Olympics, it becomes your Final Four. It becomes your Game 7 of your World Series, and it's a soccer match between the United States and Paraguay. It's crazy.
the biathlon final.
Yeah.
It's the biathlon art.
Biking and running?
With swimming and
That's winter.
Oh, Winter Olympics. Okay. No.
yes,
long
it's
distance
like
skiing?
walking on skis. I don't know. I cross country skiing, and the second, I don't know, building a snowman. The fastest.
Shooting. Okay.
That's what we're doing right now.
So Caesar and those guys back in the day, I guess, knew what they were doing.
Yes.
Let's entertain everybody so that we can bring them together to distract them from all of these things that we want to get accomplished. But that's another segment, I think.
And speaking of the Olympics, can anybody ever remember one network holding the rights to a sporting event as long as NBC has for the
That
Olympics?
is a good shoot right there, Dennis. They have
Since I was born.
Is it Jim Costa? Or Jim
Acosta?
Acosta? Yeah. Bob Costas. There we are. Bob.
Anybody
Bob
ever
for
see his
listening.
famous
Apologize.
interview with Vince McMahon? That was awkward. A lot awkward. But yes, NBC has had the rights to the Winter and Summer Olympics since at least I was born, and I can't think of any other network and any other sporting event that has had that kind of consistency in one network.
Are we a fan of Snoop?
Snoop Dogg?
Or Menace.
Or
Snoop Dogg.
Marvin Menace?
I'm talking about the summer in the Olympics. Marvin the Menace. In the Summer Olympics, we saw a lot of Snoop Dogg. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Or is it just me? I don't know what kind of contract they had. He is everywhere, but I'm convinced contractually, NBC said, we want Snoop to cover the Olympics. Are we going to see Snoop in the Winter Olympics?
I'm sure we will. I don't know about the biathlon, but I'm sure we'll see him. I see him in Skechers commercials. Snoop Dogg is Skechers' newest endorser, and I was thinking to myself, there is about a 0.0% chance he actually wears Skechers.
Zero.
Zero.
For Sunday Night Football, and sometimes it's a really basic rap, and I wonder to myself when they did some of the early '90s Snoop, if you could look into the future, what you would think about what current Snoop would do.
One thing you gotta give Snoop is longevity. He has stayed in the main event spotlight for 3 decades, which is impressive.
Shout out to his agent.
Yes,
If you're able
yeah.
to market Snoop and put him in Skechers, he obviously convinced somebody from Skechers it would be a good idea to put Snoop. And I'm finding out that NBC Peacock will return as Snoop will return as a special correspondent to broadcast of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics in February.
And that's what's great about, technology and streaming. What I love about Peacock during the Olympics is back before this was possible, you just got to see whatever event NBC was showing. A lot of times it was tape delayed, but Peacock actually has a thumbnail, a box, a channel for every single event as it's live going on. And I really think that's cool.
That is neat.
Everything from curling to
Oh, let's go with curling.
Shout out to Jamaica's bobsled team. Are we
Cool
going to
running.
see a repeat? Are we going to see a repeat?
there's all kinds of storylines.
It's gonna be tough without John Candy.
That's he was a motivating factor.
Yeah, he was a big part of their success.
Question.
Coach.
Once the old heads figure out that Snoop is the musical entertainment for the Olympics, will they be just as upset as they will certainly be once they remember that Bad Bunny is the Super Bowl halftime entertainment in a couple of years?
Jeez, when you put it down like that, Gareth, where are we at these
I'm
days?
saying it's more predictable than
Ah, Goodness gracious.
And we were having people like Bad Bunny and Luca with Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl, why can't we get insert whoever they need to be inserted here? And then the other side being morally superior and being, being all knowing about everything Bad Bunny and being open-minded. So this is gonna happen. We need to have the.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
It's inevitable. But I'm just surprised people are having these conversations after Roseanne Arnold Barr sang the national anthem. I don't think anything should surprise
Jeez,
or
it really went
anger
downhill from
or
there.
upset anybody after that.
It really did.
That went downhill faster than downhill skiing in the Winter Olympics.
And I guess we have Snoop as an honorary coach this year. So that's where we're at. But I'm looking forward to the Olympics.
I can't wait
USA.
myself. I
I'm ready
cannot
to
wait.
watch
Go
every bit of
USA.
it, even Snoop. Jeez. Shout out to her agent.
Yeah.
She somehow convinced somebody to do that.
Somebody made a bad decision.
Someone made a bad decision, and I'm pretty convinced, Kevin, that I don't think whoever made that decision is still with the Olympic Committee.
Or even with the network. I would hope not.
And that one is because Roseanne was purposefully not trying to do it justice. But you've got Carl Lewis on the other hand, who thought he was the second coming of Pavarotti. Have you heard his version of it?
No, just Enrico Palazzo's version.
This is Charlie Steiner, the producer on Sports Center.
Bowl 25. Can we go there, 1991, to clean that up a little bit? I think it was Whitney, Houston, Super Bowl 25. And if we have time, you always got Jimi Hendrix, Woodstock.
Anybody think
Yes.
Irish Bill's sitting there thinking, what am I getting myself into today?
So we got about 2.5 minutes here, and we're gonna let Ruby take a
USA! USA!
I can't wait for curling.
Curling, another good one.
I can't wait for curling.
I'm ready for the game tonight, Kevin.
Yeah.
Big game tonight.
It's just, I mean, it could be a 50-point game. The atmosphere is going to be unreal.
Yeah. I think Choctaw jumped out on early last time. Get it, Whitney. Get it.
This is Kevin Costner's favorite version.
Really?
Yes, he has publicly
Kevin's
said
always
that.
been a smart producer.
Yeah.
the quintessential version of this song. It doesn't get any better than that.
Solid.
It does not get any better than that. But if the athletic director at Walton Beach High School would like, I will give my best rendition of Whitney's version of that tonight at the Choctaw Walton basketball game.
That is Holly McDaniel, if I'm not mistaken.
Holly, call in.
Holly, call in and answer his question.
850-374-3468. Holly, we'll go ahead and broker this deal quickly. And hopefully it doesn't turn into like the Roseanne deal. But I got more confidence in Garrett.
I want to thank you, David, for coming out and spending this first hour with us. It's a joy as always. Let's get you back on the
Love
road.
it.
I'd love to get you back here, my friend. Thank you for all that you do. From me and Kevin here at Walton Beach, what we are doing, thank you so much. We would like to take a step away to pay a few bills. Thank you for joining us for one more hour. We're going to be with you all the way till 5 o'clock. We're going to be joined in the next segment by Mr. Irish Bill. We're going to be talking some NFL playoffs and maybe some Indiana, who knows what we're going to talk about. But,
Big game at Rutgers tonight.
all right, stick around.
Love it. I'll see you tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, man. It's
All right,
always
let's do it,
a pleasure, man. I'll see you up there.
Yes, sir.
Thanks as always, man. No. Yeah, it's on the radar. All right, well, all right, Ray, have a good one. See y'all. Maybe we can do something next year. Maybe it's good. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah. Stop. Stop. Okay, I like it. That's what I'm gonna do. I guess it's because of your Brady, and you Brady saying hammer time, animal time. Yeah. It's camel time. Okay, let me get Bill a call. Frank! I'm gonna call someone, can you just walk me through it? Okay, so call first, right? Number 5 on the bottom row, dial the number, call right, okay. 1, 2, 5, 5 over top row, camera light on the top row. what? I'm ready to put my whole what? Okay.
What is up, Irish Bill?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and place you on hold, my friend. Hang up. And then when he needs to be brought on, is it only this, or do I do something up here as well? So I was still hearing voices right now. I think the voice will stop. Really? No, there's nothing for it. No, I'm hearing voices. Oh. But he can hear that right now. Well, yeah, now it's probably good. Brand new. Yeah, they haven't had it yet. I remember when it burned down, I went to the pantry. A lot of my old iPhones had it. That was, it's kind of where, like you take a right on General Boulevard, it's about maybe a half mile down before the National. Everybody that's my age or older, and like, would I not hear them, their stuff coming through there? No.
Colder weather is coming. Is your car ready? At Coastal Auto Express in Fort Walton Beach, they're keeping you on the road and worry-free. For a limited time only, get free diagnostics and a complete vehicle inspection. That's right, absolutely free. Their expert techs will check your brakes, battery, fluids, and more, so your ride stays smooth all season long. Don't wait until it's too late. Today, Coastal Auto Express. Give them a call at 760-0622.
At Okaloosa Gas, we are offering an $800 rebate when you switch from
That
the
was an observation that
propane
they had
furnace
in
to
Panama
natural
City.
gas. It'll keep you warm and will cost you much less than electric or propane. Or if you want to upgrade your current natural gas furnace to a newer, more efficient model, you're saving $400. It just might start again. So stay warm and cozy this winter. The natural gas way. Learn more at OkaloosaGas.com.
I'm Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Eaton. Right now, Florida, including Okaloosa County, is losing lives to opioid overdoses. Many of those lives are lost after just one pill. Never take pills given to you from friends, family, or anyone you don't know. One pill could kill. That's because counterfeit pills often contain deadly fentanyl. One mistake could knock you your life. Only take medication prescribed by a licensed medical professional. Free Narcan is available through the Okaloosa County Health Department. This morning could save your life or someone you love. Stay safe and report suspicious activity to law enforcement.
Walton's destination for cultural commentary and national headlines.
You might be wondering why I'm playing this particular song, and it's because we're joined by our good friend Irish Bill, his last name is Hamill, and it's Hamill time. Thanks for joining us, Irish Bill. I did not. I'm not going to be, and you're making a reference to a Facebook post I made just before we went on air. I'm so tired of people riding my bumper and honking horns and being mad at me because I refuse to get a $100 speeding ticket going through any school zone in this town. So yeah, no, I have not paid that penalty. I'm just being self-aware enough to realize how upset I would be if I ended up with a $100 check in the mail. I keep seeing people make these totally sharing their being upset that they received one. Ooh, okay.
Early forms of NIL? Yeah, that happens on a lot of recruiting trips these days.
Speaking of NIL and amateur sports, we were talking about the Olympics earlier, and do you get excited about the Winter Olympics games? And if so, what sports are on your calendar for must watching? Yeah, it's first of all, it's going to give me 2 weeks worth of random things to talk about during what is normally kind of a slow month for sports. But I just get it. Tess and I were discussing how it's really, we would never watch some of these sports or get excited about them or follow them, but for whatever reason, we become super fans for obviously our country, as if it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup or some other equivalent sport out
The
there.
Final Four.
Ironic that you bring that up, the biathlon. Yeah, you must not have been listening to the segment. I actually did a trivia question. I asked my co-host if they knew what the two events of the biathlon were. So good. Well, nice little segue. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that it must harken back to some sort of Nordic tradition or something. I don't know. It's always fun to see the people from Guyana do it well. Not at all. No, we don't have good shooters in that regard, but let's talk a little NFL football, or whatever you want to talk about. Maybe you want to talk about Indiana still, Fernando Mendoza being the upcoming projected #1 draft pick. You want to talk about that high of being an Indiana fan, or at least someone from the state of Indiana who momentarily rooted for them this past week. Where do you stand with the Indiana fan of these days? Yes. That's incredible. You know what else I saw about Coach Signetti? Because when he was first hired with Indiana, a lot of people had never heard of him before, and he said, if there's one thing about me, it's I win. Google me. Well, Google, the actual corporation, if you Google Kurt Signetti right now, they have a little message at the top that says, yep, he won. And I thought that was great. And James Madison. Yeah, Yes, they are. And I imagine there's going to be a Disney movie made about him and Fernando Lino. It's such a casting, not just wedding. They're going to be salivating. Yeah, that's great.
You know, how about Fernando Mendoza's little brother, who was supposed to be his heir apparent next year, has now transferred to Georgia Tech? No, and it's going to be very hard for him to compete for the starting job with Indiana now having Mark Cuban NIL money. The sky's the limit on the caliber of athletes they can bring in to plug whatever holes that they're losing for graduation or the NFL draft.
Bill, can you tell me if they have a broccoli?
And I know, Bill, your basketball Indiana Hoosiers have a big conference road game tonight against Rutgers. Coach Knight never would have put up with that. We both know that. You would have gotten choked out or hit by a chair. Hey, if Larry Bird couldn't wing it, I don't know who could. You know, I didn't even know that the Tom Arnold lookalike Harbaugh brother-in-law was not their basketball coach anymore. How long's that been? Yes, because Georgia now has former Gator head coach Mike White. Yeah, with the two guys that win and then Tom Crean. Yeah, definitely a sports-related Thanksgiving dinner chat.
That's a great discussion that we are going to have to table for the next segment. Do you mind sticking around with us, Bill? Yeah, appreciate that, because right now is the musical cue, which means we have about 28 more seconds to invite our listeners to stick around for another segment with our good friend, Mr. Irish Bill. Before Walton Beach, what we're doing, Kevin Horton, Garrett Stearns, we gotta go pay a few bills, but stick around, we'll be back with Irish Bill in 2 minutes.